and welcome to the Cultivating Calmness Podcast. Today, I'm just going to talk a little bit about preparing for the holidays and maybe some different perspectives on grief and trauma when it comes to holiday celebrations, and talk a little bit about some wrap up from my year in private practice and some of the things that we have coming up. So thank you for joining me today, the week before, the podcast before Christmas. I will not have a podcast episode next week, given that it falls between the two holidays, Christmas and New Year. But we will be back in the new year and with some upcoming changes under a new name. So podcast will stay the same, but my business name will be changing. So something exciting to look forward to for me anyway. And hopefully you can join me in that. Recently, as we have been preparing for the holidays and I've been meeting with my clients in my private practice, we talk a lot about some of the things that I've talked about recently in some of these podcasts, and boundaries and limits and knowing where you're at, and how to remember your loved ones on whatever holiday you're celebrating. And for me, that would be Christmas. And so I recently had more than one client, bring up that, Christmas is supposed to be a fun, exciting, memorable holiday that everybody enjoys. And you can fill in the blank here for whatever holiday that is. So for you, if it's Christmas, if it's Hanukkah, if it's a birthday, if it's an anniversary, Easter, 4th of July, whatever the holiday is for you, you could fill that in here. But we often think about these holidays as fun and something to look forward to, but we don't necessarily think about the people who don't look forward to these holidays for many reasons. There's those of us who are looking forward to Christmas but are stressed, so it's a wanted thing. We want Christmas to come. We are excited to do all of the things on Christmas, and yet doing all of those things and being around all those people may be stressful for us for one reason or 10 reasons, but we still end up having an overall enjoyment or getting something out of that, despite the stress level and the chaos that might ensue or the problems that exist, right? But for some people, Christmas, for whatever reason, and usually past difficult life experiences or traumas, Christmas is not something that they look forward to. And so what do we do about that? What do we do when the holiday that is generally regarded as something exciting and fun and good is not for you? And when you go out in public and that's all you see. So for me today, if you're watching, I'm wearing an elf sweater. So I look like an elf. In the video, you can only see the top part, so it may not make a lot of sense. So ugly sweaters are a thing here at Christmas, and I personally love ugly sweaters. Usually I don't think they're all too ugly. I just like them, and I have several of them. So this week I plan to wear all of my sweaters to get some wear for them. But if you are somebody who doesn't enjoy Christmas, for example, and what do you see when you go out and about in the month, 2 months, 3 months, sometimes 4 months or more before Christmas? What do you see? You see Christmas everywhere. All the stores, it's all over, all the decorations, the music, the themes, the clothes, and then there's the people. So the people may be dressed, like me, in festive gear, which is just a reminder of Christmas and the Christmas season. There may be, more people. So as you know, the stores are packed, they're crowded, there's people, buying gifts, last minute gifts. And so if you're somebody who doesn't either want to celebrate Christmas or is maybe triggered by holiday celebrations, and that's all around you all the time, everywhere, that may be difficult for you, and trying to find accommodations or trying to find ways around those things may be hard. There may not be ways around it. Luckily, in the age we're in today, you can order a lot of things online and have them delivered. So you could potentially avoid going to many stores and being around all of the festivities and all of the people, but you may not always be able to avoid those things. So it can make the holiday particularly difficult. So when I think about some of the people that I've seen recently and some of the things that they've talked about, it may not necessarily be all of Christmas that they don't like, but there were certain things that occurred in their lives that caused the holiday to be a stressful experience and a negative experience overall. And then they find by the time they become an adult that they want nothing to do with all of that. And even though it's supposed to be something they enjoy, and there may be things that they do enjoy, there are a lot of things that they don't enjoy. And that could be anything. Maybe it's a family meal. Maybe it's whatever tradition that your family has. Maybe you do enjoy it. Maybe you don't enjoy it. And one of the recommendations that I had for my clients is, if there is something that you enjoy and you do want it to be part of your holiday and your tradition, that's okay. Make that part of your tradition. And if that's the only thing that you do, that's okay. That's fine. If the people around you, your family, your friends don't support that, or they have a problem with that, right, that means incorporating some boundaries around that. But you also want to try to find those people that do support you and do understand and will be there and understand that, hey, I don't really do that, but you go ahead, you do your thing, I'm going to do my thing, and we don't have to criticize each other and give each other a hard time over that. It can be, it is what it is, and I'm okay with my choice. For some people, I know myself growing up, I never spent a Christmas not at my house. So that was important to me. For some people, having Christmas or whatever holiday, in your home, your own home, may not be important to you. And maybe people travel over Christmas because they don't want to be at home, and because being at home brings up bad memories, so they go away. Hey, good for you. That's great if that's what you want to do. So I encourage you, whatever it is, make your own tradition, make your own new celebration for whatever it is that is going on with you and your family today, despite what everybody else thinks or does or says. You don't have to do everything everybody else thinks you should. I know that's hard, and that's not exactly what we all think of, when it comes to Christmas, for example. And it takes some thick skin to be able to not care about what other people are thinking, but it is important for you to be able to try to get to a place where you can do that, and working with a therapist, talking with people who support you to get some of that backup, to be there for you when you're struggling, like, oh, maybe I should just do it anyway. They want me to do it. Are you going to regret it later? Are you going to feel worse later because you said yes, rather than saying no and feeling maybe some of that irrational, unhealthy guilt, or when your family or friends try to shame you and make you, cause you to feel those feelings of, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda. It is okay. Like, those feelings are going to come, I guess is what I'm saying. And when that happens, if you're able to talk yourself through that and understand that you're doing the best you can for yourself, and that's really what matters, is that you're helping yourself through this difficult time, through your choice that is supposed to help you feel better. But in the moment, it might not feel very good, because it's a change. It's different from what you've been doing. Maybe you're used to just appeasing and pleasing everybody else, and you're not used to putting your foot down and saying, no, you know what, I'm not going to do that. But if you find yourself longing for something and wanting that and saying, man, I wish I did go, or I wish I had done that, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind for the next year. Or just do a delayed celebration. Put up the decorations late anyway. Keep them up for longer if you want to. That's okay. everybody does their own thing. I have family members that set up, right after Halloween and take down the day after Christmas. Me, sometime in November is when I get them up. I try to get them up earlier, and when I get them down, it's just depending on how I feel. And it's definitely past Christmas, and my birthday is in January, so sometimes it was attempting to, leaving it till my birthday, but 2 years ago I was like, I was tired of it. I didn't want it up anymore, even though Christmas is my favorite holiday. So they went down before my birthday. Last year, I think, I was a little bit lazy and stayed up for way too long past my birthday. And it was finally like, man, if I just leave them up a few more months, it's going to be time to put them back up again. That was more laziness and avoidance of the work and effort it was going to take to put things away. So I just didn't for a while. But right, that's me. So you do what works for you. And when you have friends or family that maybe struggle with this holiday for any number of reasons, if you know who they are, you can offer your support by just supporting their decision. Letting them know it's okay to not accept your invitation to go do something or to come to your party or what have you. If you know that maybe that's something they struggle with, give them the permission to say no. Even though you want their presence there and you love them and you care about them, maybe they just need that to be okay for themselves. So just think about that this holiday season. I wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. As far as this podcast is concerned, I won't be doing another one until the next year. And with that, next year, at the first of the year, I will be introducing my new business. It's just transitioning my business, and the name is going to be changing and looking to expand. So look for that information here in the new year, and I'm really excited to share that with you all. Thank you for joining me, and I said I was going to do a wrap up, and I'm almost forgetting to do that. In my business, I host a mental health clinicians luncheon, and we've been doing that every month since I think February of this year. So we have done 11 of them. And it's been a great opportunity to meet other clinicians in the area and to learn about different topics. And I've really enjoyed hosting that because as a private practice clinician and a sole proprietor, the only clinician here working for myself at the moment, it can be very isolating being a therapist on your own. Even if you're in a building with other therapists, even if you're in a group practice with multiple therapists, it can still be kind of isolating, because you're doing therapy. You don't always have time to talk to other people and other clinicians, but especially if you're alone, you don't really meet with other people. So I really wanted to start this to be able to connect with other clinicians and to learn about other topics and network. So that's what I started back in February of this year, and we've done all different kinds of topics from different clinicians around Columbus. Let's see, we've done burnout, we've done ADHD, like all the things you didn't know about ADHD. We just did all the things, what you don't know about eating disorders. We've done religious trauma, marriage counseling or marriage and couples counseling, domestic violence. We've done we did a holistic health type of health coaching. I know I'm forgetting some. They're not all coming to mind. That's a majority of them. And then we're going to be doing here coming up in the next few months, one on neurodiversity, what that means in chiropractic care, and let's see here, someone's going to be speaking on dissociation and neurofeedback, And so I'm always looking for new topics, always looking for new people. So if you're hearing this podcast and you're interested, feel free to reach out to me and we can set something up for some month this year. If you're interested in sponsoring one of these luncheons in Central Ohio and you help supporting us and local clinicians, that would be awesome as well. You can reach out to me and we can talk. But I'm looking forward to 2024 for new things on the horizon, and very grateful for the experiences that I've had this year and the clinicians that I've met, the friends that I've made, and the clients that I've had, and the lessons that they've taught me, and the progress that they've made. I am very grateful for being able to be part of their lives and part of their experience and help them grow and change. And it makes my day when I see positive changes and I see those light bulbs go off. So I love what I do and want to continue doing that in a more holistic framework here in 2024. So thank you all for joining me on this podcast that we started here earlier this year. Grateful for anybody who is listening and for any future people who check in here with me. And this is 2023. Thank you for joining me on the Cultivating Calmness podcast. I will see you next year.